Good evening, Dennis.
Hello, Eric.
How you doing today?
Good. Very good.
Nice. I did a pretty cool thing yesterday. My family and I climbed up a mountain. We went for a hike. It was the whole thing was like 8 kilometers, which in miles is probably five-ish. But it was like straight up the goddamn mountain.
Oh, no good.
Yeah, and like my 5-year-old was a trooper. He went all the way
Oh,
up. It was a
a
pretty.
hike trail
It was sort of a trail, but there was a lot of rocks and like
climbing.
it was dangerous. Like at any moment we could have slipped and cracked our skull open. But it was pretty cool. We got up to the very top, and then at the very top we had this gorgeous view of the ocean, which is pretty sweet. So
Yeah.
it was
So does that explain the red gash on your forehead?
no, no, that's another incident, but we're not going to get into that.
Well, that's too bad. So how long it take you? 5 miles, kids, and all that.
It was probably about 5 hours, but like it was slow going. Like I had I had my watch set to record the fact that I was doing a workout, um, and and it also does the cool thing of tracking with GPS where we were,
Oh, wow.
and so it was so damn steep that, and I had to help my children up some rocks and things, and my watch kept saying, "So have you stopped your walk? Because it looks like you're not moving anymore." And I was like, "Shut up, you stupid watch! I'm working on it. Can't you see my heart
And you're
rate?
going straight.
I'm going
You're going
I'm
straight
going
up.
straight up, and it's like looking at my GPS
Oh,
coordinates. Like, you lazy fuck! What do you?"
you need to turn it on to Rocket Man so they
Exactly.
can track your trajectory. That's
Exactly.
funny.
Yeah. So like it kept buzzing me because that's a feature. Because sometimes
Right.
like I'll go out for a walk and I'll come home and I'll like start cooking or something, and then it'll buzz me
Right.
and say, "Hey, did you
Right.
mean to stop this workout timer?"
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So your kids are 5 and how old? 10
5 and 9,
and 9.
about to be 6 and 10.
Did the 9-year-old really get into it?
She was just fine. Yeah. Although it helped that her 11-year-old friend went with us.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Man,
Right.
two two kids, two siblings are much harder to parent than two siblings with a third kid from another house,
Yeah.
because they just all they form this triangle, and
Right.
the other kid occupies their focus and stuff.
Right.
Um,
Right. Sounds like a blast. How's the weather?
yeah, it was nice. I was in short sleeves for most of the time,
Oh, really?
long pants with short sleeves, but sweating like a pig,
Yeah.
like a
And
pig climbing a mountain.
what was the temperature?
I was 18, so 65 maybe.
Wow. So we had a snowstorm yesterday.
I know. I've got a Facebook friend in the Upper Peninsula, uh, where they're like right in whatever it's called, where uh, all all the water that gets picked up from the Great Lakes comes right over them and dumps a whole bunch of snow on them.
Yeah, it's like my wife read me a description. It's like a vortex kind of
Right.
cataclysmic. It read like a novel. I mean, it was like Dostoevsky. I said, "What are you talking about? All this, terms and that you could understand because they had Latin roots in them."
Right. Right.
But it was fun to listen to. So a friend of mine in Louisiana wrote me and said,
Asked if you
"What
were
are you
dead
wondered if when I was going to come down there." And he said it's spring, the flowers are blooming, the festivals are starting, and particularly beginning in April. And I'm sending him a snapshot of me with a broom
yet. Right.
scraping off 3 inches of snow. I tried to get the snow to show up because it was blowing in my face, but I was afraid it wouldn't show up in the picture, and it didn't. So I wish I knew how to doctor it
Right.
so that it was more, captured that. But without that, it just looks like me with a squint on my face,
Well.
right? Well, yeah, pretty much.
Well. I mean, That's why Florida is full of retired New Yorkers. Because
Yeah,
when you get
right.
older, you're just like, fuck this shit.
It's too much,
I'm going south.
too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna play this week, and Wednesday came, and I was too tired.
Gonna play what?
Harp.
Yeah.
with Tony. Tony's got the Out of Favor Boys duo that plays down at a pub.
It's a pretty good name.
Yeah, well, and it's the Out of Favor Boys. His big band is like 5 or 6 people plus guests. I went out to see them this past weekend. Played poker for a couple of hours. Miscounted my money when I turned it in for like the 5th time in a row.
What do you mean when you turned it in?
Well, you turn in your chips to
Right.
a guy who organizes the event. He's the banker.
And you say, I've got $25 here.
23, and this time it was 16. And he's a really nice guy, and he knows that I'm just either
Stupid.
stupid. Stupid. What are you, stupid?
It looked like
But
23 chips.
he doesn't say that, but he's very nice. But he talks to me as if maybe I've got some special needs.
Well,
Dennis, real song. Dennis, I think maybe you may have miscounted. He kind of sounds like, in the Space Odyssey. Right?
yeah, Hal 9000.
Except strangely, this guy's name, who says this, his name is Dave.
Whereas Dave was the person Hal was talking to in the movie. Yes, but
Dennis, I think you may have miscounted your money.
you stupid fuck.
An Italian guy. What? What the fuck? What are you? Again?
Well,
It's every week, well, and it's like, whatever. I got issues. I'm the first to admit.
it's funny how you never undercount. Right? It's like, I think they've got 5 here. No, actually, you have 16.
Yeah. So I went through an audit with the state contractor I've got in Louisiana, and they had all sorts of questions and claims about I paid or I underpaid and overpaid. At one point, they said I undercounted $1,100 that was due me.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than give me that money, they said they'd apply it to my cash match, which instead of course being provided by my other funder, would in fact be provided by me, which is my small net margin of gain is what they
Right.
want me to use for match. So no, I want my money. So I did a very detailed response and found both undercharges and overcharges that at the end of the day, after they discounted each other, I undercharged by 200. And I didn't say this, but I didn't care whether I got it back because it was lots of money and
Right.
not many errors and whatever. And they wrote me back and they said, well, we don't count it when you don't charge us enough. We only count it when you charge us too much.
Wasn't that nice?
Which is, in fact, the proverbial one-way fucking street.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah, you are totally right.
It deserves an F-bomb.
One-way fucking street, yeah.
Well,
Oh.
two, in fact.
A fucking one-way fucking street.
You stupid fucking fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like to do in the local businesses where I know I frequent a lot, because there's no tipping in Spain, right? But
Yeah, right, because they pay people.
yeah, because they pay people
Wait.
freaking wage. But one thing I always like to do is if I'm charged, if whoever's charging me doesn't charge me enough, I'll make a point to go back and say, no, actually, you missed this thing, because that ingratiates you as an honest person.
Well,
and
right, as it should.
Right.
As it should. And I was a little disappointed because I wouldn't have gone to all the trouble to create all this numbers if they had said, let's tell you the parameters,
right,
and you end up wasting your time. But, at the end of the day, people are trying to do a good job. I think state employees get a bad rap a good part of the time. I've worked with some hardworking people, then with some people that not only do they sleep in their cubby or office,
right.
but you're glad that they do. Right? Because the only thing worse than them being asleep is them not being asleep.
Right, trying to.
Because then they try to do stuff which they don't do well. And I had a woman who worked for me who was new to state government when I worked for the Department of Corrections, and she said, came to a meeting and she said, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's so many people who work for you who work in this division. They're when I say they're asleep at the wheel, she said, I mean figuratively and literally. There
Nice.
is a guy who does sleep. I knew who she meant. And she said, we got to motivate them because our workforce isn't big enough. And I said, let me explain to you the way that you need to treat this. Those people who are asleep, even if they're asleep on the floor, you just quietly step over them. And the people who sleep in their office, don't bother them. And the people who are working, you work with them. Because if that's where we put our time and attention, we will do nothing else.
Right.
We'll be
Just be policing
personnel paperwork
right.
from now until the cows come home. We'll do their evaluations honestly, but we got a job to do. Work with the workers, and maybe they'll become motivated, which many of them did.
Well, I mean, that's where the old phrase, let sleeping employees lie, comes from. You know?
I don't know if that's exactly what I'd say.
No?
Well, it might be in Spain. Who knows what you foreigners are doing?
All kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one translates. I haven't heard a similar idiom. But
well, speaking of Spain,
yes.
My first cousin, came here to do an art show. Ann Ivory Productions, and she makes these stunning rock and wood useful things, like a rectangular plaque with 5 pegs on it that you can hang in your foyer for 4 or 5 coats made out of river stone embedded in a wooden frame, and the knobs on the pegs are worn down river stones, little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so amazing stuff. Ann Ivory Productions. So I went there.
I like the idea of useful art.
Gorgeous stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
mirrors and things like that. So I took a little break at the art show and went around the corner, real quick. Not much I want to look at. I looked at 2 cool things, but one of them was an artist that said, "Help a starving artist get to Spain."
Okay.
So I've got her information, and so I bought some of her stuff.
Yeah.
Here's one of them.
That's very Catholic, yes. This is good. This is good podcast material.
Look at that.
Visuals. That's beautiful.
Visuals are good.
It's so.
Describe it
For the potential listeners. What we have is a Virgin Mary's Madonna with a halo thing behind her, and it's on this shiny material.
Metal tin. It's metal.
Tin. Is it painted or?
Yes, it's painted.
It's painted on tin.
And it shows her hands in a position of offering with the hearts in them. And anyway, I bought a bunch of her stuff. I've got some other stuff I'll show you some other time if you want to take a picture of it. But I told her I had a friend in Spain.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what else I said. But
she's not coming to stay at my house, is she?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. It's kind of where I was going to get to, but, I wasn't going to just say it that way. But, yeah.
Well, speaking of...
and she's got 5 kids.
Great.
18 months to 3.5 years.
Speaking of Spain and religious art, did you see that thing maybe 7 years ago where this Spanish woman tried to fix a painting that was in her local church, this beautiful painting of Christ, I guess it was, and she went to try and fix it, and she totally messed it all up. Have you seen this?
No.
Here, let me send this to you.
I thought you were going to tell me that the wounds were bleeding. What is that called?
Stigmata.
Yeah. That's some strange stuff, man.
Here, this is... why is that like that?
This is good podcast material, too.
Well, this works, too. Hold on. So, potentially, there's a chat in the Skyper thingy. Do you see the link pop up?
Yeah, I do.
So, click on it. Put your old man glasses on.
All right. Oh, it went away.
There should be a little chat bubble.
Yeah, I see it.
So look at that image. So,
oh, yeah.
So she tried to fix this thing, and
and I take it the one on the left is the one that she started with.
that was the original.
Oh my God! Oh my God.
And this,
Oh Lord, thank you for sharing that. That's the highlight of my day. Oh my God.
yeah, and this,
Oh,
so this thing went viral because it's obviously as
thank you.
hilarious as you're finding it.
Yeah, well,
So so
it is the end of a day, a long day.
so this
Oh God, that's hilarious.
so, so this little old woman went into her church and was like, trying to help, and like, well, this part of the church wall here needs things get out of
What
control.
did she use? Crayons? Chalk?
I mean, I
Oh,
I can't guarantee that I could paint better than that, but I would hope so.
I can't believe.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Ah,
So
stop it. Take it
anyway,
away. How
speaking,
do I get? I can't.
close that window. So
I can't. Oh, it tickles me. All right. There you
so
go. Oh, Lord, help me. Oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
so that's the funniest Spain art thing that ever happened. That was like 6 or 7 years ago, but like, of course, it went worldwide, and this poor woman, that's not that anyone actually remembers her name, but anyway,
Well, what? So I've got a problem with my screen here. I don't know why. It says start sharing.
don't do that.
I don't.
This is our old man tech support section.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. Well, now pictures on this side of the screen. I'll look at it occasionally, so excuse me.
Okay.
So what did they do to her? I mean,
No, I mean, like,
did they
presumably,
hang her as a witch?
I think
Oh,
so. So
God.
this is a thing. Sometimes people make mistakes that are so big that, like, there's no need to punish the person because whatever they've gone through is socially is as much punishment as, like, more punishment
Yeah,
than you
yeah,
can give.
yeah.
Like, for example, and this is not so funny, but the poor people that, a couple times a year somebody will forget that it's their day to take their kid to the daycare, and they drive to work and they leave their kid in the car all day long, and the kid dies, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that sort of
Right.
thing. First of all, there's no way your marriage survives that. No way.
Well,
And second of all, there's no way that any level of criminal justice punishment is going to hurt that person more than their guilt is already.
right. But and which serves only one of the purposes of sentencing, by the way. But
Okay.
we
Yes,
can come back.
but
Yeah, you're right.
but so, like, whoever that woman is, she's
Oh,
totally
mortified.
mortified, and she probably had to move out of her little town that she grew up in and lived in for her whole life, just because she's that woman that ruined that.
What if she ends up in her old age to look like
Just-
the person in the
just-
picture that she ended up with?
Well, she would need some plastic surgery.
Well, but I don't know
I bet-
in dress and affect.
Well, I'm sure people have dressed up as that for Halloween.
Oh.
I'm sure there are masks of that
Oh.
of that face.
Do you see a lot of people in Halloween posing as Jesus Christ? Have you ever?
No,
I never have.
But that particular hilarious Jesus, maybe
Wait a minute.
maybe so.
Is that the name of it? The hilarious Jesus?
Hey, maybe that's what the H in Jesus H Christ stands for.
Twin brother hilarious. And really, the name was H. Jesus Christ, the other one, but it didn't sound right, so they said Jesus H. Christ.
Could be.
How? There's a narrative here. So the story of hilarious Jesus Christ, twin brother.
Right? Yes, I like it. Well, I mean, are we not? Didn't Monty Python do this already?
Life of Brian was actually the most breakthrough movie of its kind, parroting religion.
Yes.
That was so early on and amazing. It was crazy fun.
There's some amazing videos on YouTube of at the time they held a debate discussion thing with the members with the cast of Monty Python and some some vicars, as they call them in
Uh-huh.
England,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
where where the priests were pretty upset, as you might imagine, and
Right.
but it's a beautiful thing to watch because
And they have clips of the real clergy reacting.
no, they like it's a they're on stage somewhere having a discussion about
Uh-huh.
the life of Brian, and the cast of Monty Python just totally schools them in their responses. Like it's well, this is a movie about what happens in at that time, and there were a bunch of people that believed that so and so was the Messiah, and it's just a beautiful example of of a joke whooshing over somebody's head.
Yeah.
Uh,
Send me that.
I will.
I'd love to see that.
The oh, that reminds me. I learned a new word the other day. That's I don't know if it stems from Monty Python, but it certainly applies. Uh, there's a British term called corpsing.
Oh.
Any idea what that is?
It's when you take a body that's stiffened and you try to ride the waves with it.
Close, very close.
Corpsing.
It's how in like blooper footage when actors are trying to say their lines and they just break out giggling.
Yeah.
That's what corpsing is. Because apparently, at some point there was a guy that was playing a corpse, and the comedy going on around him was so much that the corpse started giggling. So
Good term.
yeah, so that's actually a British term. I was watching a documentary.
Corpsing.
Yeah,
Corpsing.
Copsing.
Corpsing.
Stop copsing.
Stop it or do it, or don't start it, but don't do it in front of me.
Exactly. Very good.
No. Well, that's
So-
funny. I love those bloopers.
Yes.
When they can't. The ones that I've seen are from The Office, and they are
From which office?
the American
The American one. Yeah.
the,
So I was going to say I learned this term.
plagiarized one.
I learned this term because I was watching a documentary interview with the creators of the original British one, and they talked a lot about we couldn't stop corpsing, and so
The Monty Python skit that comes to mind in my line of work is related to two men talking about how rough it was when they grew up and the hardships, and so when you hear people who I've worked with occasionally say, you don't know how bad it was, when I grew up and all this other stuff, but
Right.
It's very, very funny. And at one point, one of the actors says, he says, I lived in a box at the top of the stairs, and every day my father would come out and kick me down the stairs, strip me of my clothes, and send me off to school. And then and the other guy says, oh, is that all? I had to live in the bottom of the ocean, and every day my father came down and beat me up with broken beer bottles and then sent me off to school bleeding. So along that vein.
yes, I get it.
Oh, it's fun to find somebody who knows these lines. You could learn some of these, and we could do a Monty Python. We'd probably get sued. There's copyright. We'd pay him some money.
Well,
Just-
I mean, either the parrot is dead or not. Like Schrodinger's parrot.
Oh, right.
Whoa, there's an idea.
The parrot's not dead. He's not dead. I think he's just pining.
Fighting for the fjords.
Pining. He's sad. He's not dead. But he's stiff. Look at him. His body's stiff. He's laid dead at the bottom of the cage. No, I think he's just sad. He's pining. Won't you give me $50 for the bird?
Close. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
pounds. Maybe might have been more.
What?
You Americanized that. And it's not as
Yeah.
funny.
Well, sorry, man. It's being graded. Don't be hypercritical of me. So yeah, I read a song about. Think about an up-tempo song, "Hilarious Jesus."
Yeah.
Hilarious Jesus. How about How about hilarious Jesus
I was
to
gonna,
the tune? Listen, man,
I was gonna say, how would that go, Dennis? But I didn't realize I didn't have to.
to the tune of Eleanor Rigby. Hilarious Jesus. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I like it.
What is it for? You know,
Yeah.
it was like for him growing up.
Well, that's the whole thing.
All the holy people,
Nice.
why do they not see me? All the lonely people. Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I like it. I like
Mega
it.
hit. Mega hit.
Why will they crucify me?
Won't they?
What?
Why won't they crucify me?
Because that's his end goal.
Hilarious Jesus. He doesn't think that it's funny anymore. What is it for? Hilarious Jesus. He doesn't think that your laughter is good for his brain. He thinks it's a drain. All those holy people.
Well, I can't imagine there was a lot of I can't imagine there were a lot of stand-up comic gigs for Hilarious Jesus back in the day.
Well,
You kind of need a microphone, don't you? Well, no, I guess the non-hilarious Jesus gave a Sermon on the Mount, so the hilarious Jesus might have given like a comedy set to open up.
he came out, warmed him up. He said, "Yeah, I know. You think it's him. It ain't him. I'm his twin brother. My name's Hilarious. I want you all relax. Eat some bread, some fish, whatever. There's plenty to go around. He'll be out in a minute. And when I put my hands up like this, you need to stand up and cheer. Let's give that a try." Then they don't do it because they're too busy eating
Right.
the loaves and the fishes. It's everywhere.
That's the problem. I imagine doing comedy in a place where they serve food might be complicated. But okay, so how, like the whole manger sequence totally missed the twin brother and the other,
What?
I mean, if Jesus has a twin brother, right? So
Yeah.
So he was also there in the manger, but he didn't get any gifts.
Oh, no.
No?
You know where he was? They put him in the back. You know how all the animals came out of their stalls?
Yeah.
Well, they put him in one of those stalls.
Right.
And they also had an animal there that didn't belong, and that animal that didn't belong had to take care of Hilarious Jesus. It was a spider monkey. And there's this whole thing.
There's a word that doesn't appear in the official Bible.
Spider. The official Bible, is there an unofficial one?
Sure, there are lots.
So did somebody try to rewrite it and it was unauthorized?
Yeah, man.
Now that would be something for the Monty Python team to do.
Rewrite
the whole Bible.
There were a whole bunch of books that they had they get together at Nicaea or whatever, and I'm not looking at Wikipedia. I'm going to say 800 AD, where they like decided these books are in and these books are not. There were a whole bunch of books, and so there's a whole bunch of unofficial Bible that I bet there's a bunch of spider monkeys in there.
Well, that long tail comes into play because in the manger, or the crib, not where the Jesus was, but where his twin was in the stall,
In the barn, yeah.
the barn, was also where they stored rocking chairs. And so the expression, like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, was coined by Hilarious Jesus. The day,
So it used
the
to
night of his birth.
it used to be spider monkey, but it got mistranslated into cats.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly right. I knew you'd appreciate it.
So I've never heard
it
that
used-
expression.
It didn't catch on at first because it was, it was like a room full of like a bunch of spider monkeys in a room full of rocking chairs, and nobody got it.
I still don't
And,
get it.
all right, well,
So
I don't know. I thought
No.
you did.
no.
What are we laughing about?
Well, the ridiculousness. So this is this
You're
is
laughing.
so no
Fuck you.
at the idea. So this is an expression, a room full of
What?
cat, or do you
A
just
room full of long-tail cat. A bunch of long-tail cats in a room full of rocking chairs.
because you're gonna
Somebody says,
you're
"Hey,
gonna rock over
how you doing?"
under one of their tails and they're gonna go meow, whatever.
Wow.
No?
Our first animal, you
Onomatopoeia.
know, what?
Onomatopoeia.
Oh, huh. I'm not quite sure that's true. Do it again.
Uh, what?
You'd have to say, meow. That's onomatopoeia.
You're right.
This is not like a cat does. That's not onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
That's an actual sound. Or this, meow. That's not onomatopoeia. That's a sound. So can you do a cat sound? Let's hear your best cat sound. No, wrong.
Yes, that's true. Let's see. Meow. But I don't have a cat. Let me hear your best cat
I can't
sound.
believe you did that. I ain't doing that. That's
Yeah, you are.
ridiculous. Meow. That's it. That's mine.
Okay.
With the long tail.
Curled around doing something.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Well.
that's perfect.
Oh Lord. You know how different families have different names for their father.
Yeah, they're Meemaw and they're Pawpaw.
Popo,
Yeah.
Popo, and Great Pop, and
Peepop.
Poop Pop.
Well, if they start calling you Poopop, you might need to start wearing some diapers or something. I don't know.
Poopa.
Poopa.
Well, Poopa. Poopa. What did you do, Poopa? So, have you seen Moonstruck yet?
No, that was my homework. I have not.
Yeah. Well, remember this. Remember this line. Old man, you feed another plate of my food to those dogs, and I'm going to kick you till you're dead.
Okay.
Remember that. Watch it.
That's
It's your
profound.
homework.
All right.
It's a good line to use with old people.
Right.
And when they don't do what they should do. I used to say that to my mother-in-law when she lived here. She thought it was hilarious. She cackled beyond all recognition. She
Cackle beyond all recognition. That's a.
I mean, she looked, as she cackled on and on, she began to look more and more like Jack Nicholson's The Joker, with her lipstick and her crazy white hair and at the height of it, her tongue wagging with a spittle, flying out, landing on my wrist, requiring a quick glance and a brush.
Right. A glance at the brush. Cackling beyond all recognition. I like that. That
Don't dwell on it. You don't need that image. You don't need that image.
Well,
I don't need it. I got it though.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it's like it's like FUBAR, but CBAR.
CBAR. What?
Well, FUBAR, you know what that means.
Fucked up beyond all recognition.
I know. CBAR. Cackling beyond all recognition.
Well, let's see if it catches on. Well,
My mother-in-law was totally CBARing.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then, man, almost unexpectedly, she C-barred on me right in the middle of the restaurant, and I had to help her out.
Right.
C-bar.
Once you wiped off your wrist.
That's an image you don't need either. Well, I need another beer.
All right. Would you like to go get one? Or do you have a servant?
A servant wife? No, I don't. I don't have one of those. 43 years, I haven't. Service isn't one of the deliverables here. Now, this is no, it's not that. That's all I'll say about that.
If you've enjoyed what you just heard, you can support us by telling a friend or sharing us on social media. All our episodes are available on our website, happyhour.fm. You can tweet at us at happyhour.fm. That's with the DOT spelled out, happyhour.dotfm. Or you can send us email at the same name, happyhourdotfm@gmail.com. Also, it would be great if you could give us a positive rating on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.